Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about silicate cement. This is not very important topic. In exam, MCQ may be asked on this topic. There will be no LAQ or short note, but still we are going to discuss about it. As a dentist, you should know about silicate cements. Silicate cements are said to have been introduced in 1878 by Fletcher as an anterior aesthetic filling material. So this cement was introduced by these cements are said to be introduced in 1878 by Fletcher as an anterior aesthetic filling material. So it was the first anterior aesthetic material introduced in 1878. They were translucent and resembled porcelain in appearance. So we you may saw porcelain teeth. So these were translucent and resembled porcelain in appearance. Though the initial aesthetic was satisfactory, over a period of time silicates degraded and stained. So initially its aesthetic though the initial aesthetic was satisfactory, so it is playing a very important role. That is, aesthetics, to maintain aesthetic is very important, and it was the anterior tooth filling material, or it was the anterior aesthetic filling material. But after a time we saw that it was degraded and stained. So these so that's why now we are not using these cements. Leakage around the margin results in dark margins. So they leak also, and leakage around the margin result in dark margin, and blackish line will appear in between your teeth and gingiva. Silicates are attacked by oral fluids in time, and in time degrade. So they degrade in time. The average life of silicate restoration is 4 years. So average life is 4 years. Some may last as long as 25 years. Some restorations may last as long as 25 years, but average life is 4 years. Other may require replacement in year or even less. So other may require replacement in year, other may long as 1 year, and may degrade. The incidence of secondary caries is marked list around silicate restoration. So why incidence of secondary caries is markedly laced around silicate restoration? Because they have fluoride releasing capacity, and we know that fluorine prevents dental caries. So incidence of secondary caries is markedly laced around silicate restoration. This is surprisingly when considering that severe leakage takes place at its margin. Though there is severe leakage, but incidence of secondary caries is less around silicate restoration. Also, the incidence of contact caries is less when compared to the amalgam margins. So amalgam restoration. So in amalgam restoration we may saw contact caries, but in silicate restoration contact caries are less. So contact caries is a term applied to the caries occurring on the proximal surfaces of the tooth adjacent to the restoration. So we know that what is proximal surface in dental anatomy. We saw that what is proximal surface of the tooth. So caries which occur on the proximal surface of the tooth are called as contact caries. The anti-cariogenic property is due to presence of 15% fluoride. So why it prevents secondary caries? Because it have anti-cariogenic property. So this anti-cariogenic property is due to 15% fluoride. Fluoride release is slow and occurs throughout the life of the restoration. So this release is very slow, but throughout the restoration fluorine will release. Silicate cements are classed as a severe irritant to the pulp because of its low pH. So because of acidities, this cements is irritant to the pulp, and that's why we require base below this cement. For many years, silicate served as a standard for comparing the pulpal response to other material. In deep cavities, pulp had to be protected with varnish or calcium hydroxide. So in deep cavities, we should apply a base of calcium hydroxide, or we should apply a layer of varnish. With the development of better alternate materials like composite resins and glass ionomer cements, silicate gradually fell out of favor. So now today we have different type of cements like glass ionomer cement, composite resin. So these are the best cements. So now we are not using silicate cement because we have various other options. By the 1980s and 1990s, they were gradually phased out of the market. So by the 1980s and 1990s, they were gradually phased out of the market. However, silicate cements are of historical interest. So we should know about historical background of the dental cement, and this was the first anterior aesthetic filling material. So we should have some information about these cements. It also forms the basis of glass ionomer system. So on the basis of silicate cement, glass ionomer cement was introduced. So this is very important. And now we will quickly revise. Silicate cements silicate cements have been introduced in 1870 by the Fletcher. This was anterior aesthetic filling material. They were translucent and resembled porcelain in appearance, though their aesthetic property is better, but over a period of time they were degraded and stained. Leakage around the margins result in dark margins. Silicates are attacked by oral fluids and in time degrade. The average life of silicate restoration is 4 years. Some restorations may last for 25 years and other may require replacement in 1 year or over, even less. And incidence of secondary caries is markedly raised around the silicate restoration because of its anti-cariogenic property, and 15% fluorine is really this anti-cariogenic property is due to 15% fluoride release. This fluoride release is slow and occurs throughout the life of the restoration. Silicate cement may irritate the pulp, so we should apply the layer of calcium hydroxide or varnish below this restoration. And now we are using different cements like GIC and composite resins. It forms the basis of glass ionomer system. So this is all about silicate cement. Just